Who Dey and what's going on, everybody? It's Eric Stanio with Team Stanio Live coming at you with all things Cincinnati living, news, and real estate. It is Super Bowl Sunday. Hope you're going to be able to enjoy the big game. I'm very excited about it. And I was thinking a little bit earlier today, and I was like, I want to pop in here and get a live stream in before the big game starts. And what topic should we do? How about a Super Bowl of cities, right? Super Bowl of cities, Cincinnati versus San Francisco versus Kansas City. Who's going to come out on top in that Super Bowl? Now, we all know that had Joe Burrow had a healthy 2023 season, we know what was going to happen tonight. This was our year, okay? We got derailed by the calf injury. We got derailed by the wrist injury. And all of you other AFC teams and NFC teams, you got lucky. You got lucky that Joe Burrow got hurt because this was our year. This was our team. We all know. Let's just take a look real quick. What happened? What happened when our boys were playing each other? Oh, yeah, that's right. October 29th, 2023, when we had a healthy Joe Burrow, a healthy Jamar Chase, a healthy T. Higgins, we smoked the Niners on their own field. We beat them by 2 touchdowns, 31-17. Okay? So tonight's probably going to be a good game. I'm rooting for the Niners. I think all of Cincinnati is probably rooting for the Niners because we don't want to see Mahomes get another one. I mean, we don't even care. San Francisco has beaten us in previous Super Bowls. I don't care. I'd like to see the Niners get it because Joe Burrow is going to chase down Mahomes in getting those rings. But back in October, 31-17 Bengals. I went back and watched this game recently, and we dominated that game. Like it should have been more. This was the Irv Smith game where he fumbled on the 2-yard line right before half. This was the game that ended Irv Smith's career effectively in Cincinnati Bengals, but we were driving. It would have been more. We dominated this game. Okay. And I'm going to just for you guys as a little treat here, as you're getting ready for the Super Bowl. Thank you for joining in, by the way. A few of you are jumping in saying, what's up? Rinketic Sports. Who Dey think going to be them Bengals? Right. Because it's always Who Dey in Cincinnati. Right. And this would have been our year. We're waiting back patiently. In Duke, we trust for the offseason, free agency, and the draft, because 2024 we're coming back strong. And look out, NFL. Lamar and the Ravens. I was even rooting for you guys. I was rooting for you guys over the Chiefs because I don't want the Chiefs to win. And you blew it. You had your chance. You shot yourself in the foot, and you're not going to get that chance again next year. So I'm sorry to say it, Ravens. Alex, what's up, man? Glad to have you back. Thank you. Last 2 streams did looking at some development projects that are going on. Love having you on the live as always. Thanks for jumping in. Jakey Boy did a good job as a backup QB. I agree. Jake made himself a career, and none of us would have thought that from what we saw in the preseason between him and Simeon. We were all like, oh crap, we do not have a good backup quarterback. And then he got in there. He did his thing. He's like, he's Joe Burrow light. I think the coaches figured it out. What I was really impressed about with Jake was his rollouts and the screen game, getting Chase Brown going. I was super happy. So we know what we got with Jake. But what I got to show this because I know as you guys are getting ready to watch the game and thinking about this 49ers game, and like I said, I went back and watched this like on the NFL package recently just because I was sad watching the playoffs, and I was like, I want to watch what we were this year. And I went back and watched this Niners game, and frick, we were so good, man. When Joe Burrow is so good, I'm just going to treat you guys to this play. If you don't remember this was like our first drive of that game. And let me see if I can get the audio real quick. Let me try to present it with audio so you can hear it, because Joe Goodberry did this, and I think it's awesome. I tried to do the audio last week, and I realized when I went on the playback, it was terrible. So sorry about that. I wish I was better at producing. All right, let's enjoy this. Let's enjoy this together, because Jake Browning, yes, good on you, but you're not Joe Burrow. But this is Joe Burrow in all his glory. And this was this year against the Niners. Backs out with eyes up. Oh, rusher's coming. Pocket collapsing. Climb the pocket. Shrug it off. Armstead. No, you ain't nothing. Oh, there's Bosa. Bosa gets a grip. He was sacked twice in this play. Stiff arm Bosa. I mean, little help from Kappa there. Switch ball back to the right hand. And this was the first game. This was the first game that Burrow, we were like, can he do that? Can he get out of the pocket? Linebacker gets drilled. Dime to Higgins. You kidding me? That's what our boy can do. Gosh. It's so good. I'm just going to roll it back. He's so good. He had the calf, and we were like, the Tennessee game got crushed. And this was with the first game he was moving. And this was the first game on this drive. They started doing under center, and we had some play action going, and we just took it to him. We beat the Niners by 2 touchdowns on their own field because we freaking got Joe Burrow. All right. Sorry, I just had to do this on a Super Bowl Sunday a little bit. You with me out there, Who Dey Nation? Okay, is this going to work? All right, we're going to get into some real estate stuff here. Stop sharing, present, share screen. But hey, we had to do a little bit, give a little love to our team, our Bengals, on this sad day. Do I remember when he threw that amazing long ball to the right corner of that Niners game? Was that the one to Boyd? He had an early touchdown to Boyd. I mean, the man's the best, like compared to what? Okay, maybe Mahomes. Until we knock Mahomes off, he's the best. But what's the record? Burrow is 5-1 versus Mahomes and Josh Allen. I'm just so tired of hearing, like, they try to make the narrative not to Boyd. Yeah, it was beautiful pass. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. It was, here you go. I got you. Dime. Dime. Yep. Joe's the best or second best. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Mahomes can do Mahomes things, but keep building this line. And I just want, I don't know about you guys, but I want in this draft trenches. Like, I want in free agency trenches. If we can get Matabuke from Baltimore, and then, gosh, that Johnny Newton dude looks freaking amazing. I want him, or I'll take one of these giant tackles in the first round. Give me the trenches, protect Joe Burrow, stop the run. So the trenches, if we improving this D line is going to make our defense so much better. We're giving our safeties another year to marinate. The linebackers were worse last year because they kept getting climbed onto but because our D line sucks. Zach Carter, I'm sorry, man, it's over. I need some players, and I need some pass rush from the D line. Give me that, because I don't think DJ Reader's going to come back. BJ Hill, quality, serviceable, but we need to be intense. Oh, 63-yarder to Chase. Let me go back. Let me see here. Not that one. Let me see if I can find it. Is it? Oh, that was Higgins. Yeah. Anyway, we spoke them. Sorry, I don't want to waste all your guys' time here. It might have been different. Yeah, the Chase one, I think, was the Texans game. That was at Cincinnati. And Chase was hobbling that game. He was injured. I was at that game. It was a lot of fun. But I just want to remind everyone. The Bengals beat the Niners 31-17 on their home field. When we had a healthy Burrow, when we had a healthy Chase, when we had a healthy Higgins, we were rolling with the number one offense in the NFL in those games. So enjoy it, Chiefs and Niners and everyone else. You got to break this year. You got to break without the Bengals. All right, here's what we're going to do. I came across this tweet today, this morning, and it got me thinking. And the tweet was from John Blatchford. He's got some pretty cool. He's a real estate developer of historic buildings. Does a lot here in both Cincinnati and New York. And his tweet was funny. It got me thinking here. He said, for less than a studio apartment in Manhattan, you could pay the mortgage on this house in Cincinnati. I'll just show you a little quick look here at this house. Cute, little detached garage. Look, beautiful. You could have this home. And so I went and found this home on Zillow. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,400 square feet for $550,000. Just to give you guys a look at this. 2,400 square feet, beautiful landscaping, hardwoods, custom cabinets, brand new kitchen there. Love it. Beautiful backsplash. You're going to have a whole house, okay? Super cute, super cute, super cute. It's got that historic, these stair rails, you see these all over the place in Cincinnati. They're gorgeous. You got a patio on the roof or a roof deck here. Love that. Enjoy some sun rays up there. Looks like they redid the bathroom up there. I love that. $550,000. So I thought, okay, while we're doing the Super Bowl of cities here, why don't we compare this 550,000, which, by the way, and there's the looks like on a little third floor loft up there too. So you can it's going to be a lower ceiling, but you can put a little kiddo up there or two. $550,000 in Cincy, which, by the way, is well over our median sale price. Our median sale price right now is around $280,000. I think it may have climbed over 300. I think it's around 280. This gorgeous home, $550,000. And so comparing cities, I just wanted to do a little comparison of cities tonight. What would $550,000 get you in San Francisco? Okay, now look, I understand we can compare all kinds of things here. San Francisco has the weather, has some cool history in itself, but from a housing standpoint alone, okay, and I'm a real estate agent, so I'm going to look at housing. San Francisco gets you a 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo, 714 square feet, 592 square feet. There's a 2-bed, 2-bath condo. Look at that. Mostly you're getting a 1-bed, 1-bath condo in San Francisco. Whereas in Cincinnati, let me go back there. Now this is just one home. This is a renovated kind of historic home. And this is on Bay Miller. Let me see where this is. Off of Lynn. Yeah, on north side of West End. So this is right down, right downtown West End. You're going to be able to walk to FC Cincinnati soccer games. You're going to be able to walk to Over the Rhine and all the top restaurants. You can walk to Music Hall. And by the way, I think coming soon, based on some of the rumblings that are happening, there was kind of talk of an NHL team coming to Cincy, but I think as I'm listening to the news behind that one, the real underlying effect of that is, when I've talked about this on the previous developments, I think there's a push from some major city players here to get a new arena, not an arena downtown on the banks, but more than likely, I'm thinking it's going to be coming to the West End. We've got around the FC Cincinnati Stadium, you got a $300 development going in. You've got the convention center and the hotel that just got passed with funds this week. Things are happening on the west side of downtown where you've got a little bit more room and real estate to work with. I wouldn't be surprised if you see an arena coming downtown, a lot of economic development, because if you get that arena, you're getting more types of conventions, or you might get some of those, some of those tournaments that are going to Indianapolis or different cities around the Midwest. So anyway, this house, this $550,000 house on the west end, just north of Liberty, where you're going to have walkability to a lot of different things. But if you were to do 550, why don't we do this? Let's take a look at 550 in Cincinnati, and Northern Kentucky while we're at it. Let's remove the boundary and let's see, besides being right downtown, what does 550 get? So if I'm scrolling out, let's say you don't want to be in that walkability, you want to be more in a school district. Okay, here's out in Forest Hills, Anderson Township. 530 gets you a 3,200 square foot house, 4-bedroom, 4-bath. Okay, that's 530. What if you get into Northern Kentucky? I'm going to guess in Union here, 3,200, 5 bedrooms, 5-bath, 520. Now, again, comparing 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 600 square feet, or in Cincy, you can get a, 5 bedroom, 5-bath, 3,200 square feet, 0.44 acre home in, this is actually in Union, Kentucky. Beautiful, right? Nice green grass, suburb, sidewalks, safety, good schools, kids are playing, hardwood floors, 3,200 square feet. You're also going to have a basement in this one. Let's see if it's finished. There's your basement on the lower level with a walkout. So this could be a potential mother-in-law suite. These photos aren't super good, but hey, get what you can take. On the fly here, $520,000 in Cincinnati. There's your house. Beautiful green lawn. Love it. Okay, let's look at what else. 500 gets you, 500 to 550, and you're getting definitely over. If you want a brand new home, you can get that too. So if you want a brand new home, instead of these others look like they're 20 years old. Here's Traymore Gardens. In fact, I think I just published that video in Union, Kentucky. So there's this Traymore Gardens, 2,700 square feet, brand new home by Drees Homes. You could build this Buchanan, and they've got others in that area in that 500. So, Alex, backing me up here. I know Jeff wants it in the West End. We're talking about Jeff Bearden. I'm hoping they put the arena near the convention center, but I am biased. I know, because you live down there. I would love to see it. I would love to see that downtown. I think it would be awesome, and just a huge asset for the region. Jess, what's going on, my brother? Long time no talk. Good to see you jumping in, looking at that good-looking guy pitching real estate. Hey, you know me. Hope you're doing well, man. Missed you at the holidays, but hope you're doing well. Thanks for checking in. Hope to see you at the next one. See you soon. Cool. So that's a quick look at, and we can look at more here if you guys want. Just let me know. This is why we do live, so that we can interact, and you guys let me know what you're watching, what you're interested in, what you're looking at. If so I'm going on the north side here. Again, if you're closer into the city, you're going to get an older property. Holy cow. 3,900 square feet, 7 beds. This is awesome. I'm guessing this is, so again, another renovated house. If you're closer into the city for that 500 budget, you're going to have an older home. Like anything around here, you're going to have homes that are going to be like 100 years old, okay, around the river, because Cincinnati is old. And then as you make your way out, so in Kentucky, that's Fort Mitchell and Fort Wright and Taylor Mill. And in Cincinnati, that's kind of Anderson. You got homes that were built in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Same with Blue Ash. A lot of homes built in the 50s and 60s in the Blue Ash and Kenwood area. And then, it just kind of kept pushing out. And so homes built in kind of Anderson and Florence and Union and Independence, you got the 80s and 90s in Westchester and Mason, and then kind of early 2000s. So up until now. So what does this look like in Westchester? There you go. 539,000, 4-bed, 4-bath. That says 2,200 square feet. So that one's a little bit smaller. Again, that's going to be just the first and second levels, but you're going to be in Lakota schools. And again, you're probably going to have a finished basement in this one as well. Beckett Ridge, people really like this community up in Westchester. So just depending on where your job is and where you're commuting from, um, whether you want to be in Northern Kentucky or Cincinnati, East Side, North Side, wherever you want to be. All right, let's move on. Let's keep comparing the cities, little Super Bowl cities here. I want to look at cost of living comparison. Now we looked at housing. I've showed you guys this site before. It is Explore Cincinnati. It's got a lot of, if you're interested in moving here, this is a great site to check out. The other one on the Northern Kentucky side is called Meet NKY. And so, but you can look at tours, arts, sports, Cincinnati, the business community, startups and entrepreneurs, what the food and drink scene is like, the rivers, parks, and trails, all this on this website. They also have a cost of living index and a calculator, and you can actually compare it to other cities. Now, I think this is starting to get a little bit outdated, but generally speaking, the numbers are going to be pretty correct. So if you want to compare it to other city, if you're looking at Kansas City here, Kansas City is actually pretty close in terms of cost of living between Cincinnati and Kansas City. And that's going to be the same, for a lot of Midwest cities. So whether it's Kansas City, maybe St. Louis, Indianapolis, Columbus, Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, Louisville, Kentucky, Lexington, Kentucky. Now, Nashville used to maybe be in this ballpark, but Nashville has gone way up in terms of affordability and cost of living. A lot of people have been moving to Nashville, so that has priced out a lot of people. But cost of living in a lot of these Midwest cities is pretty similar. So I would say Cincy, Kansas City, pretty similar in terms of cost of living. And what's funny about that is our quarterbacks are pretty similar. They're pretty close, 1 and 2. If you go over to this other website I was looking at, cost of living calculator, this is bestplaces.net. Between Cincinnati, it's slightly better in Cincinnati. So a salary of $96,000 in Cincinnati, you would need $97,217 in Kansas City for the same overall cost of living. Whoa, come back. Whoops, not on the website. Sorry. Here's the website. Bestplaces.net. And you can see the overall index. Cincinnati is 86.8%. Kansas City slightly higher at 87.9%. So food and groceries. How are we comparing downtown and downtown? Yeah, I can go back to that in a minute, Alex, in terms of like condos downtown. I'm guessing. Actually, let's do it real quick. So going back, stay in this price range, and why don't we do condos downtown or OTR here and see what we got, if there is anything in this price range. No, because everyone wants to live in Cincinnati. Let's go a little bit lower. Okay, so here you go. I went down to 400 because I figured it'd be cheaper. 460 in Cincy versus San Francisco. In this range, 425, 450 gets you a 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,800 square feet, 1,900 square feet, 2,100 square feet, 2,100 square feet. So basically, you are doubling the rooms, the bathrooms, and the square footage for $100,000 less. There's your comparison downtown condos for San Francisco and Cincinnati. Great question, Alex. You're my downtown guy per usual, so thank you for that. There you go. Bars are open till 4 a.m. in Louisville, Kentucky. So if we're comparing amenities, Jess is making a pitch for Louisville versus Cincinnati, which they're about an hour and a half away from each other, and price point pretty close again. If you're in Louisville, you're going to be feeling you're going to have more of that Southern feel for sure. In Northern Kentucky, you don't feel it as much. Northern Kentucky, I will say, you can feel it slightly in terms of being in Kentucky. Like most of the people who live here, they might root for University of Kentucky or University of Louisville. But a lot of people like who have moved to Northern Kentucky, it's mostly because of Cincinnati. And so if you have never grown up here and you move here, Northern Kentucky and Cincinnati, the feel is going to be about the same. You're not going to notice much difference between Union and Westchester and Mason. Maybe a little bit. But as you go south, as you get into a little bit further south into Kentucky, in Lexington and Louisville, which that triangle is kind of like the three big areas of population in Kentucky, you will feel it more. You'll feel like you're in the South more. And there are some differences. The Kentucky Derby down in Louisville, which is a blast, and it's got a different feel. In Lexington, you got more of those horse farms as well, both big university towns as well. But Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky feels, I will say, more like Cincinnati than it does Lexington and Louisville. I think that's fair to say. If you guys are watching here and you live here in Kentucky or Cincinnati, let me know what you think. Jess also says better food diversity in Cincy versus Louisville for sure. Restaurants are way better in Cincinnati. Yeah, and that's, so if you're looking in this region, I would say Indianapolis, Columbus, Dayton, Louisville, and Lexington. That's where you're getting into the amenities of the city itself. And that's where I'm saying, whereas cost of living in Cincinnati might be really close to Kansas City and some of these other Midwestern cities, amenities wise, I think Cincinnati has it beat, like, hands down. Not only like the restaurants and the food diversity, but the art scene as well. Now it's kind of what you want. Like, I had someone who moved here from California. She's like, I want the horse farms. And so we helped her find a house way closer to Lexington than Cincinnati. And so if you want more of that rural farmland feel, yeah, definitely go further south into Lexington. If you want more of the amenities, more of the art, jumping back into this with Cincinnati, then the amenities really matter, because now it's not just art, it's not just restaurants, but also, let's go to lifestyle here real quick. What can you do here? So again, I encourage you guys to just kind of explore, what does this look like? From a sports standpoint, we've got, how did I get here? I tried to get to, there's something I went to earlier. Universities. Well, anyway, we've got, FC Cincinnati Reds, which is the oldest baseball team in Major League Baseball, and Cincinnati Bengals, which are so hot right now. Are Cincy cheaper than Columbus? It's going to be about the same. But again, Columbus is mostly driven, I would say, by like Ohio State and College Town. It is the capital of Ohio as well. I think if you talk to most people, now I've never lived in Columbus, I don't know it super well, but I think if you talk to most people because you got a lot of people from Cincinnati who went to Ohio State. In fact, at Bengals games for years, I don't know if they still do this. They might still do this. They will play, what is it? The Hang On Sloopy song. If you guys are from here, but like, it's the song that they play at the Ohio State game, and they chant out OHIO, which is kind of like the Ohio State cheer. You got a ton of people here who live in Cincinnati who went to college in Columbus. But I think if you talk to them and say, where would you rather live? A lot of people stick around in Columbus because maybe the networking, and maybe they got a job in there after going to college there. But most people, I think, would pick from an amenity standpoint, from a beauty standpoint, they would come back to Cincinnati in a heartbeat. Professional sports, Columbus is flatter. I just think overall there's less to do. Again, granted, I live here. I know here way better. So if anyone who is watching this knows more about Columbus, let me know. What is good to do in Columbus besides Ohio State games? I actually don't know. And I'm a Michigan fan. So maybe that's just me trashing Columbus because I was born in Michigan and I'm a Wolverine. So, there's that too. So maybe there's that. So take it for what it's worth. All right, Alex, perfect. I grew up in Columbus. I chose UC because it's one block. It's on one block, and I've stayed here since 2007. So there you go. There is a native Columbus, I don't know, Columbus person, Alex, who decided to come down here to University of Cincinnati because it's you're not. I assume what that means. And again, I've never been to OSU's campus, but it sounds like what you're saying, Alex, is it's spread out, whereas Cincinnati's is not. And And it goes this route too. Since the University of Cincinnati did something really, I think they had their highest amount of enrolled students ever in 2023. And they also rolled out a plan where the in-state tuition, which used to be kind of, I don't know, within a radius here around Cincy, they're allowing the same in-state tuition to go out to anyone in Indiana, anyone in Ohio, and anyone in Kentucky. I believe that's right. So I think their plans for development on campus, and if you go up there, you'll see larger student housing developments going up. I think we talked about that one in one of our previous two lives. They're planning a lot more residents there in the University of Cincinnati campus. And when you're extending in-state tuition, I think it's great. With all the things we're talking about in terms of growth of the city, if you're attracting more people to the university, more young talent, more people who are going to live and stay here, who can fuel the businesses, who will be pillars, who will grow in the community. Awesome. Bring it on. And let's keep growing the city. That goes back to what we talked about. I didn't put this video out there yet, but it's coming. Sorry, I recorded it and I think that it's out there. But I talked about it in the live last week, which was Mayor Aftab's plan to increase residential development in the city, which I just think is great, and more of that to come. Rinketic Sports says yes, Columbus does have an NHL team, right? The Columbus, I don't know, Blue something. Help me out, guys. Columbus. I'm not a huge NHL guy. Columbus Blue Jackets. Yeah. Isn't that it? Yeah. Blue Jackets. So I got it right. Alex said go Bearcats and go Bucks. Yeah. So a lot of people root for both. If we're Ohio, we're Ohio. Blue Jackets. Yep. All right. Thank you for that. So back to this, saying Kansas City and Cincy and all these Midwest cities, they're going to be relatively the same in terms of cost of living. I want to show you guys the cost of living comparison in a calculator from Cincinnati versus San Francisco, because this is funny. Okay, so here we are. A salary of $50,000 in Cincinnati, Ohio, should increase to $140,000 in San Francisco. So what that is basically saying is if you make 50 grand in Cincy, you need to make $140,000 in San Francisco for the same cost of living. Overall cost of living index, Cincy is 100 is an average. Cincy is 86.8. San Francisco is 244. It's 181% more in cost of living. Groceries, 20% higher. Housing in San Francisco is only 855% more in San Francisco than it is in Cincinnati. So basically, if you want a house in San Francisco, just forget it. You're going to rent, maybe, unless you have a lot of money. So 855% more cost of living. The median home cost in, at least on this document or this report for Cincy, is $210,000, and in San Francisco it's $1.2 million. So difference of only $1 million. Does San Francisco win in anything? No. No, yeah, they do. Utilities are 0.5% less in San Francisco. So way to go, California. It's you're winning there. 0.5% less on your utility costs in San Francisco. So Jess, just curious, how do you feel about the massive growth in multifamily growth in Denver, Colorado? It's something to physically see with the construction buildup that's currently occurring. Yeah, I can't say I know a ton about that. I mean, I do know I spent I had a job where I worked with some real estate developers, and multifamily is going to go where the population's going to go. So Denver has seen a lot of population growth in the last several years. A lot of people have been priced out of Denver. A lot of, this is standard. Again, when you're comparing these cities, and what I see kind of again and again and again, and why I do this channel and talk to a lot of you guys who live across the country, is there's spillover. And so I know a lot of people who've moved out of California have moved to places like Vegas and Salt Lake City and Idaho and Denver. And then when you get all that population surge and people coming from California with cash to buy, it prices out a lot of the people in those areas. And those people then spill over. A lot of them have spilled over to Midwest cities like Cincinnati. And where you see a lot of development like multifamily is where you've got a lot of population growth, but housing is just getting out of control. People can't afford to buy a house. So you're going to see that's an opportunity for developers to build that multifamily and get that rent. So yeah, good question, Jess. So cool. That's what else did I want to show tonight? I wanted to show those two. So clearly, comparing these cities, I mean, it's no surprise, right, that San Francisco is going to have a lot higher cost of living than Cincinnati. But then again, it comes down to like, what are your amenities? What is the lifestyle? What does it look like? What is San? I would say I'm going to go out on a limb here and say overall, San Francisco has Cincinnati beat from a diversity standpoint. Same with cities like Chicago and New York and Dallas, Toronto. Cincy is less diverse overall. So if that's a huge deal to you, now it depends on where you live. Like if you're more in the urban core in Cincy, you're not going to feel that. But if you get out into the burbs, in particular in Cincinnati, you're going to be like, there's not a ton of diversity here. It's there. And I wouldn't say like, I do get this call from a lot of people where people are looking to move to Ohio or Kentucky, and they are maybe used to a more diversified place, and they are trying to ask me nicely, like, "Hey, is everyone there racist?" Like, that's a fairly standard thing that I get on phone calls from people. Is like, "So I'm thinking of moving to Kentucky, but is it just like everything Trump land and Confederate flags?" And it's a fair question. Okay, it's a fair question. And I would say if you drive around long enough, you will find a Confederate flag and a Trump 2016 barn painted somewhere. But overall, politically speaking, Northern Kentucky and Cincinnati is pretty split 50-50. And so if you're worried about that, and that would keep you from coming here, just let me alleviate that from you. If you want to find your people, you're going to find your people here, whether that's, religion, race, creed, politically, whatever it is. It's a pretty good blend overall. So, but other amenities here, I just think going back to this original tweet that I showed. Let me pull this back up a little bit bigger. In fact, this was pretty funny in this. If you guys can see this, let me try to make this bigger. Oops, that didn't work. Wrong one. Hang on. Okay. So, the thumbnail had Cincinnati versus San Fran versus Kansas City, which was interesting because this comment, when we moved from San Francisco to Kansas City, our mortgage lender started his emails to us with, quote, "To the only people I know who are saving a boatload of money each month by buying a house. We went from $5,000 a month to $1,800 a month and a beautiful house too." And John, the guy who made this tweet, said, "Yeah, it's pretty nuts." And what people don't know is that Kansas City, St. Louis, Cincy, Pittsburgh, etc., have objectively a really great quality of life. And I think that's one thing. Again, that's another thing I think you're comparing here is if you've only lived in these larger cities or the coasts, and you're like, I don't want to go to the Midwest. It's flyover country. It's boring. It's terrible. When people get here, I had a friend who came here and planted a church, and he lived in Dallas. We went to college together in Nashville. And he was looking to plant a church, and he was looking at different cities like Chicago and various places. And he got here, and he had been here, a few times. But when he got here and really started studying the city, he's like, Cincinnati's like awesome. Like it's really awesome. He's like, why don't people know about this? I'm like, yeah, that's kind of how the Midwest works a lot, is we just kind of get snubbed. I did a recent video on like top things to know if you're going to move to Cincinnati. And you just kind of need to know that like, we're not going to get the national publicity. We kind of fly under the radar. If you like seeking attention in the limelight, like you're not going to get that here. You can be a big fish in a small pond here, but it's not like the national media just kind of, I don't know if they enjoy it, but they just don't, they're just like, they don't care about Cincinnati, And so But if you're looking for, if you're okay with that, and if you're like looking for what I think makes Cincinnati shine is that it's a place where people get here and they're surprised oftentimes about the quality of life, about the different amenities, the beauty here, the art, the restaurant scene. B, I think a strength that the people who run sites like the Cincinnati Experience and Meet Northern Kentucky aren't doing. I don't think they're doing a good enough job at. Cincinnati is a place where you can raise a family. Cincinnati is a place where people stay. Cincinnati is a place where if you want to be around your grandkids, it's a great city for that because it's overlooked enough where if you want to put down family roots, there's great schools, there's great safety, there's a community fabric here. And if you are thinking multi-generationally and that's something you want in your life for your family, this is a great city for that. And that's not usually promoted a lot, I would say, from like the I don't know, the tourists and the people who are trying to pitch Cincinnati to get more people to come here, because honestly, I think the majority of people aren't thinking about family and multi-generationally. They're more thinking about their careers and different things like that. So what you see on these websites is pitching like our startup community is awesome. And it's true. Like if you want to start a business here, and your cost of living compared to other cities is like crazy insane, and your cost for talent to get them here. So moving your business here makes a ton of sense financially. But what people don't realize is that like the lifestyle is really great. So just think that's interesting to see. Yeah, Alex, cost of living is keeping me here so I can travel more. And totally. And it's not just that. Like, so, and Alex, I'm not sure if you have a family or not. Like, what you do with the money you're saving on the cost of living, that's completely up to you. You can travel more, you can eat out more, you can invest more, you can that I say that all the time. I say that in the cost of living videos. It's like, okay, we don't have San Francisco weather. San Francisco is a beautiful city. I've been there. I love it. Like, it's been a while. I've heard, I guess it's gotten a little bit crazier lately, but I mean, the coast of San Francisco, it's an incredibly beautiful city, obviously. The weather is fantastic. We don't get that here. We have January and February, which sucks. Which, like, everyone a few weeks ago before the sun came out, we were all like, "Are we ever going to see the sun again?" Everyone was like, and I say that in a lot of videos, like, you need to get out of here in January and February and go see the sun. And I'm going with my family next week down to Florida. We got Frontier tickets, guys, for $68 round trip to Florida. I'm like, book it. So I have 5 kids and we've never all gone on a commercial flight together. My 2 youngest have never been on a plane. The others were only, like, my oldest is the only one who's kind of remembers being on a commercial flight. So we're packing our backpacks and that's it. And we're going down to Florida because that's important to do in January, February. So yes. Sorry, I'm losing my track here. It is hard to, compare weather and things like that. But back to Alex's point, what you do with that money, with that cost of living, you can do whatever you want. If you're saving overall, what was the number? 855% on housing, but 181% overall. Like, what are you doing with that money? Is up to you. If you want to travel more, great. If you want to spend more on whatever items you like to spend on, great. If you want to invest more, if you want to start a business, like, that's the advantage of Midwest cities like Cincy, for sure. So yeah, thanks for saying that, Alex. No, man, hit up the trolley and go to the market up at Findlay. Yeah, Findlay Market. Good food, produce. Cincy has the ability to pull down anything awesome like another Midwest city, for sure. We're the best. It's the best. Watch Bengals live more. Yeah. That's fun to do. I can't wait for the next season. All right, I'm going to wrap up here because I've got to take my 10-year-old is here and his friend. I got to take him home and then try to get back because I want to watch the Super Bowl. I want to show one more thing here before I sign out. I want I want to thank this week. Some of y'all might have seen this on my social media, but there you go. Circle of Excellence platinum level. So I don't like to brag a ton, but I'm proud of this. This is a big deal. There was like 8,000 agents in Cincinnati, and only 13 of us got to this level this year. So I won this award, and I'm going to tell a funny story about it because I'll let you guys know a little bit about me. But first of all, I want to say thank you to all of you who have chosen Team Stanio as your real estate resource of choice. Without you, obviously, I'm not getting a platinum level Circle of Excellence award. Thank you to my team. So particularly Carrie Reichwein, who's my number one right hand woman here, who's amazing. But also we're growing and we're building on agents, which I'm super excited about. So, but some other helpers, we got showing assistants. We got an awesome transaction coordinator. My man Garrett, who edits my films, is awesome. But to tell you this story, guys, so we go to this event. It's at Hard Rock Casino here in Cincinnati. There's like, I don't know, 1,000, 1,500 agents in this giant ballroom. And they sent us an email. They weren't going to do everyone who won the award. You have to hit certain production levels. There's like bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. And there's only one person who hit diamond in all of Cincinnati on the individual level. Her name's Julie Back. She's won for 9 straight years. And her average price point is like the $2 million home. It's like over $1 million. It's like 1.5 million. So she's selling the high-end luxury homes in Indian Hill. And she's the top. She's the best of the best, but I'm coming for her. So they were naming off the silver winners, and I was in the back of the room and I wasn't sitting at my seat. I was talking to some of my friends. Shout out Danny Barron. Shout out Mitch Kenny from the Barron Group, and also Jeff Bosick, lender at Guaranteed Rate. And we were just having a conversation, talking about things because they were just naming off names. It's like you're clapping for people. And then all of a sudden I heard my name. I heard my name called. They're like, Eric Stanio. And I'm in the back of this giant ballroom. And I was like, oh, I was supposed to be up there. And I was like, do I go? Do I not? So I and I've got a bad back, and I start running to the front of the room, and they moved on. And so I get to the behind the curtain. I'm looking, do I go up the steps or go back? I totally blew it. I should have been there. I should have respected this thing. And I get there. I'm like breathing. I'm like, hey, I'm here. Can I get my award? Do I go? I'm like, I'm Eric. You just called my name. And they were not happy. Okay. The people who were there, who were this was the head of the board of realtors. And I'm sorry, this was completely disrespectful on my end. I agree. But also Julie Back was there, because she was about to get her award for the diamond, the top, and to give her speech. And I will just say she was very not happy. And she gave me a look that let me know that she was very not happy, that I was being very disrespectful. And she was about to go on and give her speech. And I am clearly unprofessional. She didn't have to say a word. It was in the eyes. And I said, I am sorry. I will get my award later. And so I told my wife this story, and she's like, that's the most you thing, that you win this really awesome award and didn't even go across the stage to receive it. So that's my story, guys. I am honored to get this award. But I don't know. Awards are whatever. We have to, guys, just little inside baseball. We have to, you can't pay to win the level, but we have to pay to submit our thing to win. It's like realtors paying to buy themselves trophies. And we do it because we can put it on social media and we can pat ourselves on the back and stuff like that. But I'm like, what a dumb award ceremony where sorry, no respect to all. If there's any board of realtors out there watching, presidents, I appreciate everything you do. I respect this business and the industry. I just think it's a little bit funny that we have to pay to give ourselves trophies. So that's my story. I thought you guys should know that. Cool. Thank you, Jess. Thank you. Rhyme Time 816. KCMO 816 love. I don't know what that means. Congrats, mate. Thank you. Let's go. Number one spot. Yes. We were the number one team in my office as well. And they messed up this trophy as well. So this was my second one. So this is inside of my KW advisors office. So this says individual, but technically, if you have another licensed person, now I did all the production. My assistant is licensed, so we're technically a team, but we won that too. So we're, racking up the hardware this year. Next year, these guys gonna bring in the hardware. I would be way more excited about that hardware than winning this. So yes, it is a funny story. To be fair, you did not know. I mean, to be fair, they told us to be up at the stage. I just was not paying attention. I was talking to a friend, and I don't know. That's what you get when you work with me. Like, I care about things like getting you your home, and I care about negotiating for you, and I care about your family. I don't care as much about trophies, but I have to do kind of the real estate agent thing, which is like brag about my trophy. So this is me bragging about it, I guess. I just get sick of that stuff on social media. I wish there was a better way. There is, and it's YouTube, and that's why I do it. So, hey guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, this keeps going blurry. Sorry, I don't know what's going in and out. I'm trying to get it focused. Be sure to click the like button if you hadn't. I'd appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel. If you need some help, if you're looking to move to the area to buy or sell or invest in a house, or if you know someone who is, we'd love to be the real estate resource of choice. Myself and my team, we will help you for sure. Yeah, well, that's what you get with me. You get a lot of honesty with Team Stania. So what we really care about here, our mission, I actually do want to be the number one team in Cincinnati, but it's not driven out of ambition for like the accolades. I want to do it because I really like helping families and I like helping the people on my team reach their career goals too. So our tagline here is find your home, strengthen your family. And if you guys look at the you can see the logo kind of on the video and this logo here that I created. So this is the focus. That's the Roebling Bridge, but it's modified just ever so slightly. And it's the Roebling Bridge on top. A friend of mine sketched that. Shout out Daniel Armstrong. The bottom, I changed the road and the bridge a little bit, if you can see it, to be a dining room table. And so I've said this on other videos, but I know I probably haven't said it in a while. Our tagline is find your home, strengthen your family. And so the bridge concept of our logo is we're going to help you bridge to your new home, right? So whether you live across the country or you're here locally, or you're trying to sell, when you're buying or selling real estate, something's changing. We want to be that bridge for you. Plus the Roebling Bridge is just freaking sweet and beautiful. I love the architecture of it. But the strengthen your family thing is, that's the part that I actually care about more than the real estate part. Is I want you to have a strong family. Now, look, I believe that every single family in the world is broken. We all have our faults. We are all fallen people, and every family is broken in lots of ways. And at the same time, I believe that every single family in the world is strong and has strengths and has gifts and has things that's unique to them as a family. And so one thing we are all about here at Team Stanio is helping you find your home, but we love to see families getting stronger, whatever that looks like. And that's a journey for everyone. But we believe in family. We think strong families make for strong cities. And we think that strong cities bless the world. So I love helping people come here who are interested in building a strong city. And I think Cincinnati is really unique. I think Cincinnati is really positioned. Again, I'm biased, but there's something really cool about Cincinnati in that regard, in terms of family and in terms of thinking outside of their own family, but wanting to love and bless others. And that's probably the biggest reason why I live here. There's other reasons. Maybe that's not the biggest. It's a very important one to me. Hopefully be one important to you. If it's not, I'll still help you buy or sell a home. I don't care. You don't have to agree with my tagline. So that's it. I think I'm going to wrap it for tonight, guys. Thank you for watching. I want to go eat some Super Bowl snacks. And and watch the game, go 49ers. Enjoy your win. Come on. I don't want Mahomes to win. I don't. I respect him, but I don't want him to win. Let's go 49ers. All right, guys, have a great night. Enjoy the game, and have a great week. We'll see you next time.